Hello beautiful people and welcome to another video. If you're new around here, my name is Lauren. Welcome to my channel. Make yourselves comfortable. Today's video is my August-September favourites. Now I mentioned in my last video, which was my June and July favourites, that the last couple of months I have been really demotivated. I have not been in the mood to do anything other than go swimming, which is a weird one. I really like swimming, but other than that it's been swimming, pyjamas, Netflix, that's it. But like I said in that video, I am back with a bang. I'm feeling really motivated. I blame autumn. It's my favourite time of year. It makes me feel alive, which is ironic considering everything's dying. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get into these favourites. I did say in my last video that for most of this year I haven't tried anything new, and that's true. But in the last couple of months I have started to try new products and experiment a bit. Have been shopping my stash rather than buying brand new things. So none of these are new, but they are all new to me. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Sheer Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Treatment Mask. That's a mouthful, I had to read it off the lid. This is amazing. So Sheer Moisture is actually a brand designed for black hair or afro hair, and this mask is designed specifically for natural, chemically processed or heat styled hair. Now my hair is coloured. This is not natural. Obviously it's processed, and I straighten my hair a lot, although much less than I used to. And this mask has been a total game changer. I've actually been using it as a conditioner rather than as a hair mask, or kind of both actually. So I'll wash my hair. I do it at most twice a week. Wash my hair normally, and then I put this on and leave it for an hour and then rinse it off. And oh my god, the difference it's made. My hair feels stronger. It is so much softer. It's nourished. It's longer. It's thicker. It just looks so much better, and this is great. So it's basically free of all nasty things, no parabens, no sulfates, none of that, and it's formulated with organic shea butter, Jamaican black castor oil and peppermint. Basically the shea butter is to nourish and moisturize, while the castor oil is to prevent breakage and promote healthy hair, and the peppermint invigorates the scalp and promotes hair growth, and it's just so good. So good. The only downside is, because I've become used to this and I really like it, when I wash my hair with normal conditioners, oh my god, my hair reacts badly. It's like I can feel it stripping away all the good stuff. So I feel like this is going to become my regular conditioner, which is great. The only downside is it is really expensive, if I remember correctly. I feel like this was either 11 or 17 pounds, which won't break the bank, but is more than what I would normally pay on conditioner. But I would strongly recommend this if you have afro hair, if you have got curly hair, if you've got really fragile broken hair like me, dry hair. This is so good for so many things, and it smells so good. It smells like cake. It just smells so nice. Love it. So while we're on the topic of sort of hair stuff, my next favourite is this. Now I actually had to save the box because I can't remember its full title, but this is the Revlon Pro Collection Salon One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer. It's essentially a very fancy air brush, air dryer kind of thing, and I had been wanting to try this for a really long time. I remember my sister telling me about it maybe 2 or 3 years ago and saying how good it was for curly hair if you wanted to straighten it. So I tried it. I bought it because my hairdryer basically gave up the ghost. I'd had it for 10 plus years and it died a death, and so I replaced it with this, and oh my god, this is so good. It's got ionic technology in it, which is to stop frizz, and it's also designed to stop breakage and hair damage and heat damage as well, and it's just so good. So it's got ionic technology for fast, silky smooth, shiny results, ceramic coating to reduce heat damage, tangle-free combination bristles for detangling, improved volume and control, and a lightweight ergonomic design. And I would agree with all of those things. My only quibble with it, sorry I'm just putting that down, is it actually does take quite a long time to dry your hair. It's not a quick process, but the results are worth it. So essentially it gets my hair, I know this is second day hair so it's a little poofy, but it gets my hair as straight as I can get it, because I am useless at hair drying. I'm useless at hair. I'm useless at anything that is like hair related. Can't do braids, can't curl it, literally can just do the bare minimum. But this is really good. It doesn't break or damage my hair, and then I just finish it off with the straighteners. It's so good. My next favourite I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to include because I was not a fan of the actual process, but a big fan of the outcome. And these are the FitFoot New Skin Foot Peeling Exfoliating Socks. Basically these are a rip-off of the baby feet foot masks. So essentially they are exfoliating socks. You put them on, they're basically plastic bags with this serum in it. You put them on, you have to put normal socks over the top so you don't slip and slide all over the place. Leave it for an hour and then rinse your feet, and then about a week later dead skin starts flaking off your feet, and it is vile. Like, I cannot stress how gross it is. Like, I was hoovering my room constantly. It was disgusting. anything. But about a week after that, you have lovely, soft, smooth feet. So it is worth it. But the actual process of it is grim. I just got these on Amazon. I think they're 11 quid. They are effective. They are gross. So my next favourite is the Esper Natural Beauty Inner Calm Energising Body Oil. I have been using this every day for the past month and I've still got a tiny little bit left, and this is only a 15ml bottle, so that is the first thing I want to say. The second thing, this is just the most amazing scent. So it has notes of peppermint, eucalyptus, rosemary and sweet almond, and it is designed to sort of wake you up in the mornings. And I don't necessarily believe that. I think my personal relationship with sort of aromatherapy is that it smells nice and it's a nice thing to do for yourself, rather than that they actually have these energizing properties. But it is such a lovely way to start the day. It smells so lovely, so fresh and so zingy, and it's just sort of like my perfect scent. I really like eucalyptus based scents. So like, for example, my favorite Aromatherapy Associates blend is Support Breathe, and this is really similar to that, but it also has a kind of zesty, almost lemony, I'm assuming it's the rosemary feel to it. There's almost a citrusy quality. It's so lovely. I am disappointed I only have this much left, but I also feel like this will last a decent amount of time considering I've got this much use in a month. So very big fan. I also love this Marble Effect lid. I don't know what this is because it definitely doesn't feel like plastic because it's cool to the touch all of the time. It's the weirdest thing. We are down to my last two beauty favourites, and then I have some Netflix and music favourites as well. So the next product I want to talk to you about, I have actually mentioned on my channel before, but I've been using them loads lately because I've been breaking out like a mofo, and they've been so good that I wanted to mention them again. And they are the Cosrx. I have no idea how you would pronounce this brand. Cosrx Acne Pimple Master Patches, and these are described as an ADF hydrocolloid dressing, which I don't know what it is, but essentially these are pimple patches that you use to cover spots with, and they protect the spot from infection if it's a popped spot, but they also suck out all the crap and the impurities, and they are so good, so good. So, and they're also really not noticeable on the skin, so you could wear this like out and about, not that many people do that these days, and they're just so unobtrusive, you just don't notice them, and they're so great. So I had a couple of big spots along here. I had a really big one that was under the skin and wouldn't surface, and I popped one of these on overnight, and the next morning it was completely gone. So there was a little bit of a red mark from where it had been, but all of the crap that had been in the spot was now on the dressing, which is so gross. It's kind of like those nose things where you pull it off and look at the blackheads, nose strips. It's like that. You take the dressing off and all of this gunk that was in the spot is on it, and it's so gross and yet just so satisfying. So I really do recommend these. I personally am someone that cannot leave a spot alone. If I've got it, I have to pop it, and sometimes they're not ready and it only makes it worse. These are so good for that. And from what I remember, I bought these last Christmas. If anyone saw my Vlogmas, there was a big thing about there being a spot under this mole, and I almost pulled the mole off. So that's great, don't do that. But yeah, I bought these last Christmas, and if memory serves correctly, I think they're about £8 a packet, and you get 24 in here, so I think that's quite cheap. Really big fan of these. And we are on to my final beauty favourite. Congratulations guys, you made it. This is the Garnier Moisture Bomb Tissue Masks. This isn't actually the mask I want to talk to you about, but I have run out of that one, so I just thought I'd use this as an example. I really like the lavender one. I think it's the lavender and hyaluronic acid one, and it's just meant to moisturise the skin, and it's so good. As you can probably hear, I've had a cold. It is just a cold for the last week, and whenever I get a cold, my skin gets really dry and really horrible and really gross, and I used one of these. It just made everything feel so much better. It smelled really nice. It really hydrated my dry patches. When I get cold, I get really dry around here, and it was just so lovely. So I'm a big fan of these. I am going to give this one a try. I haven't tried it yet, but the lavender one is wonderful. Really like them. I know these aren't the most sustainable things. I don't tend to use them that much anymore. It was a case of I don't feel very well, and I already had this rather than I went out and bought it, and it just worked an absolute miracle on my skin. So I'm sure this will do a similar thing. My only complaint about these is because they're not sustainable. If they sold this as like a mask, like you apply to the skin and it sinks in, they would be so good. That'd be so good. It'd be worth paying the extra for, because these are so ridiculously cheap. I'd be really on board with that. I wish they would do that. Tissue masks are great. They are a lovely thing to do. They're really pampering and they just feel like a real treat, but they are not sustainable. So either you would need to come up with like a bamboo version of the tissue, which would be more expensive, or release it as a standalone mask. But for now, these are nice, but not the most sustainable of things. So my next favourite is a bit of an odd one, but stick with me. This is the Fairy Wheel Smart Oral Irrigator. So essentially, it's a water flosser. So you use this instead of floss to floss your teeth. And oh my god, it's so good. It just gets everything out of your teeth. I've been using it basically twice a day for the past month, and it is just so good. It gets everything out of your teeth. It has removed stains. Look how white my teeth are. Can you believe that? It's just so good. I think this was about £30. I bought it on Amazon basically because I chipped a tooth and was really worried about something getting stuck in it, because I can't actually go to the dentist at the moment because my dentist is not accepting non-emergencies and a tiny chip isn't an emergency. So I've been using this to keep that part of my tooth clean and just to make sure that all of my mouth is clean so I don't get an infection, and it has been brilliant. And the upside to that is I now have very sparkly chompers. Look at them. This is brilliant. Really strongly recommend. I'd also say I've used this as much as I have, and I've only charged it once. It's just so good. So for my August, September music favourites, I have got 1 album and 3 songs that I want to talk to you about. And the album, to no one's surprise, is Biffy Clyro's Celebration of Endings. I was so excited for this to come out and it did not disappoint. I ended up staying up really late the day it did and listening to the full album on Radio 1, which was so good. It's a throwback to older Biffy. It's got a completely new direction in some senses. It's so good. What I will say is before it came out, I'd heard the song Instant History and I wasn't a massive fan because it's a bit synthy and a bit like, it's not something I would expect from them, which is, I know is their whole ethos as a band, is that they do the unexpected. They don't want to stay the same, which I get and I appreciate that. But I wasn't a big fan of this song, but if you listen to it in the wider context of the album, it works. And not only does it work, it is brilliant. But I am such a big fan of this album. I think it's so good. Highlights are Weird Leisure, Tiny Indoor Fireworks, Worst Type of Best Possible, Space, which is gorgeous, and The Pink Limit. It's just the most amazing album. Absolutely obsessed with it. I also did buy a ticket to the Biffy live stream event they did in the middle of August, and it was the most amazing thing. I have truly missed going to gigs. You guys know that's my thing. Of the 3 I was supposed to have been to before we went into lockdown, I missed one because I wasn't very well, and then the 2nd and 3rd one were cancelled due to COVID. So it's been a weird one. I've said this before, but like live music is a mental health thing for me. Like if I don't go and do it, I literally do feel the effects on my mental health. It's a strange one, I get it, but this live stream was just what I needed. It was absolutely amazing. It was worth every penny. It was only 15 quid I think, but it was amazing. It was just absolutely gorgeous and I loved every second of it. It was so good. I watched it twice. We had access to it for 3 hours and it was just over an hour long, so I watched it twice. It was brilliant. And then the song recommendations I have, none of these are new, but they are new to me. So one of them is Smoke by Brian Fallon from the album Painkillers. Oh, it's so good. It's like this weird sort of alt country rock song and it's just brilliant. I just really like it. The lyrics are lovely. It's got this amazing beat. It's actually very similar to a band called Need to Breathe, which are a similar kind of vibe. They are actually a super Christian rock band, which I did not know, but their music is great. I mean, it has that similar kind of sound and it's really good. And then another one is Sometime Around Midnight by the unfortunately named The Airborne Toxic Event. This song is 12 years old and it came up on my Spotify because I finally caved and downloaded Spotify, and it's just so good. It's haunting and romantic and sad and just so good. And then my final music favourite is the song The Backseat. Sorry, I'm having to look these up on my phone. The Backseat by the Gaslight Anthem from the 59 Sound album. And again, this song is 12 years old. This is from 2008 and it's just such a great song. It sounds like summertime. It's that really sort of like American summer rock sound, but it's so good and the lyrics are amazing and it just speaks to me, and I think that's what we all want from music, isn't it? Just something that speaks to you and makes you feel something, and those songs do. Down to my final 2 favourites, and I'm really worried because my camera the battery's flashing, so I might just disappear, so I'm going to be really quick. This Is Us, which is the most wonderful show. Little show, probably not heard of it. It's amazing. I think the writing is amazing, the acting is amazing. I cry in every episode. It's just so good. I do think that if that story had been told in the hands of a lesser writer, it wouldn't be as good. I think the writing is what makes it so good, because it could veer onto cheesy territory. Basically, This Is Us is about a family told through 2 different timelines. So it's when the mum and dad are young and just having the kids. So they've got 3 kids, triplets, and then when the triplets are older. And it's brilliant. That is to reduce it down to its like basest point, but it's so good. It's about life and family and grief and hope and all of those things, and it's just so wonderful. And there is one character who doesn't emerge until series 3, and every time they're on screen I cry. I just cannot cope with their storyline. It is so sad and so well done. And my second TV favourite is I Hate Susie, which is on Now TV. Oh, it's so good. I watched this last week in 2 days. It's just brilliant. It's about Susie, who is an actress played by Billie Piper, whose phone is hacked and nudes are leaked to the press, and it's essentially how she deals with that. And it's really, really good. It's well acted, it's clever, it's sad in places. It's just brilliant. I think it's amazing. And it's also done, the episodes are each named after one of the stages of grief. So there's 8 episodes, 8 stages of grief, and it's how she ultimately comes to terms with this massive invasion of privacy and how she accepts it. And I really hope there's a second series because it's so good. So those were my August and September favourites. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, definitely subscribe, it really does help. Ring the bell for post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.